So, and now I said that I was going to do a Halloween house that's up here, but I don't want to walk that far. And I'm not taking the car in there. So let's look at the historical basketball cemetery, which burials began as early as 1850. Wow, if this is a hunt, ooh, that looks like a fresh body right there. So that's a historical church too. Okay, we got two historical churches along with the historical cemetery. Now, because I wonder when that one was built. Because that's a Methodist church. I forgot which one that one is. So we're going to have to look at that one. I forgot what that church says over there about when it was built. So I'm really curious about the building. If the cemetery started getting bodies, I know that kind of sounds wrong, but if the cemetery started getting bodies at 1850, then ooh, that sounds bad. If the cemetery started getting bodies at 1850, I wonder if these two churches, depending on when they were built, like held funerals and had them buried across the street. And depending on how old all these people are, because after all, they've been starting burying people at 1850. Let's see. So it says burials began here as early as 1850 on 10 acres, given by Little Barry White for a school and cemetery. A log schoolhouse at this site in 1853 to 54 served the Methodist and Baptist churches. Okay, so they did, as a meeting place. Some of the unmarked graves were those of slaves, which is really sad. The first marked graves dated 1856 were those of David Smith, a veteran of San Jacinto, and his mother-in-law Bridget. Another San Jacinto soldier, Alexander, and 31 veterans of the Confederate Army are buried here. Wow. In 1908, heirs of Dr. N.J.W. gave 1.5 acres to the cemetery. When it comes to slaves, so when I say slaves, then I'm going to assume, before searching up this history of the cemetery, going to assume that it used to be all African American. Well, okay, they weren't really called that back in those days, but basically they were, this used to be a slave cemetery, basically. Hence the unmarked graves. You know what I want to do? I want to figure out, ooh, these are Gothic style cemeteries. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. I want to figure out where all these unmarked graves are. And then, see, there's one near the tree. But I want to, see. But, see, that's going to cost a lot of money. And I don't want to do that. Because that's a lot of consent to actually do this. And all that fun stuff, which is, digging up the bodies, do a DNA test, and figure out with genetics. Who's honking? And figure out with genetics who all the unmarked graves people are, and give them a name. That's a lot. That's going to be a lot of crowdfunding and stuff, So let's go this way. Am I the only weird person that walks in cemeteries? Okay. Let's see. Now these are really old cemeteries. These are old graves right here.